2019, Hearthstone added a brand new game mode called Battlegrounds. This is an auto battler that is inside the Hearthstone tavern that slowly became its most popular game mode. And for some reason, I have barely played it. So I decided to play Battlegrounds for 24 hours to see how far I could climb from basically a complete noob. And here is how it went. Now, if you're someone like me who has barely played any Battlegrounds, this is how it works. It's an auto battler mode where 8 players compete to be the last one standing. There's a recruit phase where you use gold to buy and upgrade minions and create a war band of 7 different minions. And of course, the combat phase where you go up against another player in a head-to-head battle, but your minions attack for you. So the strategy ends up being what you build and how you position your board to hopefully win every single fight. And if you're the last one standing, you win that lobby. But that is the biggest problem as a brand new player, because there is a lot to know about Hearthstone Battlegrounds. What minions are in the pool, what the anomaly is, what your buddy does, what your hero does, which leads me to my very first game of this entire challenge. Also, you may have noticed that 2 of the heroes are locked, and that is because if you are a free-to-play player and you don't buy the battle pass, that's the only options you are given. For now, 2 choices were completely fine. Immediately for my first game, I realized that this is going to be a pretty overwhelming experience, especially at the beginning. There's just a ton of information given to you, and if you're someone who has no idea how to use it, you're going to be pretty lost. But I think for my first game, I did a pretty okay job. I wasn't saying I'm like the next Faker of Hearthstone Battlegrounds, but I do think I got the fundamentals down. It was a lot more of a knowledge gap that I felt held me back. For instance, with Queen Togwaggle, you want to go more menagerie, but I decided to go for a quick little dragon pivot that I thought was going to be the greatest build of all time. Really, we're fine. Why does this minion, he's like 3 of my minions put together. Bro, I am not skilled. I'm not okay. Am I dead? I'm so fucking GG. Oh, 7s. Okay, well, what did we learn? We learned that I am atrocious at this game. And because we ended up placing 3rd, I got 171 MMR, and I felt pretty good about that. But that brings me to game number 2. Also, somebody gave me $20 to buy the battle pass, so now I have 4 heroes to choose from, which surely is going to increase my odds of winning. Game 2, I decided to go with Nozdormu because I really like the buddy and hero power that you get. And I decided to be extremely greedy early on because I found a very early triple. Most of my chat was telling me that this was a horrible play, and honestly, maybe in hindsight, it was the wrong play, but did you consider that I am the GOAT because I high rolled out of my freaking mind? Nomi reroll? We're already elementals? I'm about to go fucking mental, holy. Whenever you play an elemental, give it +6/+3. I'm sorry, what? That's your streamer. So if I learned anything from game number 2, just high roll, just find the right minions and win. It's just not that hard. Game 3, I decided to play the Jailer, and I hardly know her. This game was actually really reminiscent of the previous one because I basically went the most greedy strategy possible and power leveled all the way to Tavern 4. And for some reason, this also panned out pretty well for me. I guess I'm just not getting punished as much as I possibly could in higher MMR lobbies. And this means in the lower MMR brackets, I am the GOAT. But the one learning experience I did get here is learning how to position my minions properly because I was struggling quite a bit. Also, reading helps a lot. After getting a nice first place once again, we got 300 points, and so far I'm doing pretty well. But that leads us to game 4, where I learned the most important thing of all, and that is reading. Did you guys know that if you read the card, it explains the card? I thought I did, but I made multiple mistakes because I just don't understand how to read. I also learned that thinking about your curve is pretty important because the difference in hero powers between each hero is actually extremely relevant, and it could dictate how you play the early game. Also, there's this really nice in-game minion library that tells you what minions are currently in the lobby. This is an extremely nice thing to have. I ended up going Quillboars this game, but the problem I had was that I was not scaling fast enough compared to the guy who ended up getting first, but still, that is a win, and we add 214 points to my MMR. Start. Oh my god! Game 5 had an absolute crazy anomaly, and I was playing Sire Denathrius, which also gets a quest throughout your Battlegrounds game. And the quest reward made it that I was gonna have an absolute insane game in front of me. And I honestly did. Overall, I felt like I played this pretty well, but I definitely need a better understanding how to scale faster with comps. And I should honestly look in that minion library more often to see what I should be looking for in shops. Because at some point, I do find a relatively good build, but then I don't know what to do afterwards. And the same thing kind of happened like last game where I was getting outscaled, and I made a realization that I should start looking for minions that can scam my opponent. For instance, there's a card called Leroy Jenkins that kills the minion that killed it, and that could be extremely important if you're just getting outscaled in general. Nevertheless, I ended up getting second, and that is plus 257 MMR. Game 6, I decided to pick Bran, which is a whole hero based on battle cries. And this is probably my biggest learning experience thus far, and that is identifying what to build and what minions are in the pool before picking a hero. Because the entire time I was playing Bran, I felt lost the whole game, and it just took me too long to find a win condition. This is also just a lack of experience and not knowing what minions are in the pool for any given tribe, but I definitely feel like if I was in a higher MMR lobby, I would have got last place, no questions asked. But luckily for me, somehow I managed to get third place, and again, that is 215 MMR to my name. For game 7, I decided to pick Reno, which has the really fun hero power of turning one friendly minion into the golden version. So as long as you find one good minion in the shop, you have a win condition. But I think this is the first time that I realized that not all tribes are equally balanced, because I decided to go for undead, but my opponents were going for demons, and demons seemed like they were a lot better than undeads. Now, it could just be my lack of experience in knowing how to scale undeads, but even with what I know so far, I have no idea how they were scaling so quickly. And maybe if I decided to use my hero power on a different minion, maybe I could have outscaled them, but ultimately I ended up coming in third place, and I got plus 171 MMR. I feel like I gotta figure out what is the end goal for each comp. It's probably what it's gonna be. It's funny you say that past Rarran, because game 8, 9, and 10 all fell into the same problem. I was able to get a pretty good early game going for me, but all of a sudden, as I get to the late game, it's like I'm a chicken with my head cut off. Because all 3 of these games, my outcome was second place because I could not scale above the person who got first place in every single match. Game 11, I picked Onyxia, but I think the more important part here was the anomaly that made triples extremely easy to get. So my whole strategy was leaning into that and trying to find a perfect win condition before everybody else. I ended up pivoting into mechs after finding a very good shop for the tribe, and luckily for me, the mech pivot actually allowed me to get first place in this lobby, and that is plus 300 MMR. Also, in case you're curious, this is a comparison of the very first board I ended up with the one at the 5-hour mark. It seems like my boards have gotten slightly bigger, but nothing that is absolutely insane. We'll continue monitoring progress as we continue going through this video. Game 12, I decided to go with Galakron, who has one of the more interesting hero powers to use, and I hit a tier 6 Murloc minion that I have never used before. Unfortunately, my lack of skills with Murlocs did cause me to lose this game, is what I would say if I was lying, because the reason I ended up losing this was because I forgot to read what my mycologist does, which was the tier 6 minion I ended up hitting. Okay, I have 3 Murlocs. Wait, do I want this? Probably, yeah, right? Oh, I was supposed to play it first. Because of this, I ended up losing and getting my worst placement so far with 7th. You know what's crazy to think too is if I played the first one right, the first Murloc, I would have been all right. That was the first time I've lost. It is what it is, gamers. It's 5 hours. Have I gotten better? Probably a little bit. At this point, I'm about 6 hours into this challenge, and I think overall I have gotten a little better. I know it's a little hard to tell because I'm not showing a lot of the micro decisions from game to game, but I think this game in particular is a showcase of how much better I have gotten, because normally I would always lose to demons as undead, but this game I was able to pull out of a comp that was able to outscale them, and I wouldn't have been able to do that 5 hours ago. And I hope this momentum continues to carry worry because we have a long way to go before I reach my goal. Now, I haven't really discussed it, but my goal was to get at least 6,000 MMR. 6,000 MMR seems to be where most people would consider you at least decent at Battlegrounds, but there's actually a bigger reason why I want to hit 6,000. See, a little bit ago, I decided to play Battlegrounds Duo with my friend Dreads. But during the time we played Battlegrounds Duo, I was getting bullied for every decision I made.
No, please do not sell Brand. Sell you the fucking Poltron.
Why?
No, it's how you scale. Brand is like the best minion in the game.
No, but Brand's good for like battle cries. I got Greyman's champion here. Why do I need him?
He kept a Ruins Renovator over Brand.
Now, I'm not calling Dreads a bad guy, but I am making this my villain origin story to be better than Dreads at Battlegrounds.
There is simply no way Rarran beats me in 24 hours. There's no shot he gets 6.3. No shot. Mark my words. 0.
Dread's current MMR rating is 6,323, and I will do whatever it takes to beat him so he can never bully me like this again. And I believe at this point that I could probably get to that goal, but then the question remains, why do I keep going undead if I'm gonna go against demons and lose? Because that's exactly what happened in the very next game. I still managed to get a 4th place as Cthulhu and get 110 MMR, but I really gotta learn my lesson at some point. Game 15 was the first time I got to go Pirates, which is more of an APM comp than my boomer hands could handle, but surprisingly, I was able to get a nice 2nd place. And again, even on Pirates, the biggest issue I had was just getting outscaled. But hey, at least this time it wasn't against demons. Game 16, I decided to go for Ysera, which allows you to get a ton of dragons, not only because of her hero power, but because of the anomaly that was in the game. So I decided to go beasts. I'm just kidding. I went dragons and I did pretty well. And once again, I got outscaled later, but at least I got 2nd. This brings us to game 17, 18, and 19. All 3 of these games were an absolute devastation to my ego and my mental. And rather than me explaining what happened, I'll just show you. Hit something of value, you fucks! Oh my, I'm holding. Thank you. Holy it's so cooked, dude. I hate like an 8, bro. Definitely a lot of misplays there. That was really bad. Oh, that one bothered me so much. I hated that. I could have played that so much better. Look at 2 minions. Guess which one your opponent has. Last comment for. All right, that sounds fun. Oh, did I not pick him? Oh, he's got a base skill. Venomous hits are making me fucking throw up. I think I'm dead here. No, are you serious, bro? -2, bro. I got 4th. Wait, I got 4th. How'd I lose anything? I guess we all died at the same time. Oh my God. What went wrong, man? I feel like, again, it's the same problem. Like, I shouldn't have leveled. When I ask a question, no flame intended, just curiosity. Good luck. What is it? You know it's gonna be a banger question when someone starts off with that sentence. What do you got? What is my build? Does anyone know what the fuck I'm playing? Like, I feel like I'm an idiot here. Like, what is going on? I didn't see what I lost. Oh, I clicked too fast. Okay, I lost. Simple math. -10's 31, so 15. No, 17. I'm so bad. I think I reached my peak. Bro, I'm so washed. I can't even be washed. I think this is it for me. Like, oh my God, am I just the worst? Don't answer that. Luckily for me, on game 20, I ended up getting Jim Raynor, which is a pretty self-explanatory build, and I needed this to build my confidence up. Jim starts with a ship on board that constantly gets upgrades throughout the tavern, and that's on every single reroll. And I lost to this earlier, so surely that means it must be OP, and it turns out it was, because I got first. But this was definitely the worst day thus far, but for some reason, everything's about to change. But before we get to that, here's a comparison of game 11 versus the one that we just played now. If you look at only stats, it doesn't look like I've gotten that much better, but I think my overall composition really showcases how much knowledge I have gained. I'm excited to see where I end up at the end of the 24-hour mark. But that brings us to the very next day where my two brain cells decided to work together because for some reason, I kept getting first places. I got it back to back to back to back. But the most notable thing here is that I am no longer getting plus 300 MMR for a first place victory. That means getting a first place matters so much more. Sadly, for the next two games, I faced the biggest problem that I've been going through this entire challenge, which is just not knowing what the actual end game comp should be, because for both of these, I had a comp going for me. I just did not scale enough to get first place. But luckily for me, no losses because we got a third and a fourth. Game 27, I was reminded that the easiest and most important thing to do in Battlegrounds is just high roll and get lucky. I'll let this game speak for itself. Okay, greedy. Watch me snipe this. That's it. That's why I'm the GOAT. That's why I'm good at this fucking game. That's why they put me on display. Damn. It feels good. Now, to be fair, my luck drastically changed in the next game because I decided to go pirates, try to find the One Piece, and obviously I did not find it. And it's been a while, but unfortunately I got a 7th place, meaning I lost 67 MMR. For game 29, I decided to go for Death Speaker Blackthorn, and you could probably guess that this hero wants to play for Quillbores based on its hero power. So we played for Quillbores, and I thought this build was going to win the lobby for sure, but apparently I was not the only person who also went Quillbores, and their Quillbores were a lot bigger than mine. Again, another example of how little I know about making the best comp. Game 30, I decided to pick Malagos, which has the really interesting hero power and buddy combination of getting you early tier 6 minions, and I got an extremely early Greymane's champion. And during the mid game, it seemed to be working out, and I thought, again, I was going to end up getting a first place, but as you could probably guess, I got outskilled by demons. Okay. We're almost 15 hours in. Let's be honest here. Am I surpassing expectations or no? Maybe. I feel like I've gotten better for sure. I've definitely been pretty consistent. Today was my best day overall. For game 31, I decided to play a game off stream. This is because I am kind of getting addicted to this game mode. And for the first time for this entire challenge, I decided to go for demons. Not only because the build kind of just fell into my lap, but every game I see them in, they just seem so broken. And it always ends up being one of the strongest builds in the lobby. And my hypothesis was right because I ended up winning. Maybe they are actually really broken and I should just go for them every single time. Oh, look at that. A patch came out today. Oh, they're nerfing demons and they're buffing undeads, the tribe I go for the most. That makes a lot of sense. Here's an update from game 22, my most recent build. I think the most important thing here is just my understanding of what is the most meta comp possible, because I kind of built the best comp you can build in that lobby. But that brings me to the next day where I decided to do something a little bit more drastic. You may have noticed that this entire time I have not used a deck tracker. Deck trackers can be extremely important for improving your game because they give you so much information that I just don't have by not using it. So I decided to get a coach. All right.
So I want to go through all of these because I think this is the most important thing to know. It's like how to win with every comp. Like you know how to play every comp, but like what does a winning board actually look like for these comps?
This is Jeef, and he is arguably the greatest Battlegrounds player that has ever existed. And I told him that my biggest problem with my gameplay is actually finding the winning comp so I can get first places more often. So what he decided to do was basically show me what I should be building for every single tribe.
So there's a card called Friendly Guy. It buffs your tavern spells 1 attack.
This went on for about an hour, and even though my face looks like I'm a little bit lost, I was writing down notes the entire time to make sure I was absorbing all the information he was giving me. And even though we didn't play a single game, this was actually an extremely valuable hour. I learned a lot on what I should build for each tribe, but most importantly, what I should be avoiding because I'm just bad at the game. But the real question ended up being, how relevant would this be to my actual gameplay? So let's see how the very next game went. If we get a first place after that, that is massive. Beasts are in, boys, and undead. Seems like a pretty good lobby with Clover or with for Nixia. I'll play Nixia. This is my first repeat hero. Wait, hold on. I can go for this. The worst minion. Is Bran the worst minion? It might be you at this point. did this guy sell Titus? That's not good. Oh, I guess it's an extra slot. Depends what this hits. This? Wait, now. Oh! That might have been the best game I've played so far. With the knowledge that Jeef gave me, I was able to recognize a win condition the second it showed up in shop, and I built my entire comp based on that win condition. And before I had the coaching session with Jeef, there is no way I would have realized how good that comp would have been. Now, the success didn't translate perfectly to the next game. I ended up getting third, but I still feel like I followed his knowledge very well because I was still able to form a comp, just maybe not the right one. For game 34, I wanted to get redemption on Bran, but mainly because the anomaly meant buddies were in the tavern. And if you play Hearthstone Battlegrounds, you know how powerful buddies can be. Now, the thing is, this is the first time I've ever seen this anomaly, and I didn't realize how ridiculous this game would end up being. So a lot of the knowledge that Jeef just taught me was really difficult to follow because, well, I'll just show you this turn. Then he got, thank you, man. Welcome back for 13. I gotta lock in, shut up. Worst unit, you. The level there, but whatever. Please give me this. Thank God. Jesus. Order low a little bit, but oh my God, what are these? I'm sure if you analyze that turn, there are countless different decisions I can make in order to make a more optimal one. But for what that was, I felt really good about that. And when it was all said and done, I ended up getting a nice second place and kind of redeemed Bran. What is the learning experience there? Like, I don't even know. Like, that was just an absolute clusterfuck. Like, I had to like think so quickly. That means we move on to game 35, where I ended up picking Lord Jaraxxus. Jaraxxus is obviously a hero that wants to play for demons, and because I already knew how to play demons, this should work out kind of nicely for me, even after they just got nerfed. And I think looking back over the footage, this is probably the best game that I have played in this entire challenge. I was able to recognize very early on what my win condition was with Jaraxxus, and most importantly, I feel like I played the late game extremely well. Wait, that guy's kind of big. I'm sitting here thinking this is a first place win. Maybe this minion's. He still's got a fucking 1,000 boys. There's no shot. Never mind, we're so back. Oh, does that save me? What am I looking for? A scam? Okay. Bro, my brain is tingling. Oh my God, I have to take that. That's so fun. I mean, I'm not finding anything anyways. Well, there's poison. But this is so much more fun. I mean, this is gone. I'll have 2 extra board spots. Do I really beat like the map? I don't even beat it. I'd have to hope the poison kills. Suck my dick. Wait, boss champ? Boss champ? I'm really him. I'm really the guy. I've always been that guy. That's right. That's right. Holy shit. What a first place. Some of you might say that I got extremely lucky with my Poisonous and Leroy, and I 100% agree with you. But I just want to recognize that I put myself in the position to get lucky by selling some of my greatest minions in order to win that round. And I think 10 hours ago, I wouldn't even make close to the same decisions. Overall, man, I mean, 17 hours in, I think Jeef explaining to me like combos and like builds was actually really helpful because at least I know what I'm building for. As we move on to the very last day of this challenge, I only had one goal in mind, and that was to reach at least 6,000 MMR. And I think I had enough time to do this, so I was pretty optimistic going into the final day. The main thing I wanted to do today was follow the exact advice Jeef gave me, and because I'm at 5,000 MMR, I am going against a lot better players, and I feel like my mistakes are just being capitalized on a lot harder. With game 37, I decided to pick Temzin and tried to go into an undead comp because her hero power makes a lot of sense with it. Unfortunately, I just did not see the pieces early enough to actually want to build towards undead, so I went for a tempo build instead, which I don't think I've really ever done before, but because of it, I was able to actually secure a top 2 finish. I also think my build was pretty cool. For game 38, I got to go with Master Nguyen, which has probably the most interesting hero power out of all of them I played thus far, which is you get to pick between 2 hero powers at the start of your turn. And because of that, I feel like this was a really great learning experience to learn the rest of the hero powers that I have not used yet. Now, sadly for me, this game looked like it was going to be an 8th. I feel like I was getting too distracted by what hero power was better, but out of absolutely nowhere, I was able to stabilize by going full undead, which allowed me to create a build. Well, I'll just let it speak for itself. And it sucked. Maybe my taunt minion should be in the back. But it actually won't matter because all of these gain taunt. Like they're in such a hard spot because then when this gets summoned, it's like over. Let's go, dude. That is such a win, man. Damn. Going on to game 39, I think the most important thing here was that I got to use a tier 7 minion for the very first time. Hey, this is good. This is good. This is good. This is fine. A different minion in the tavern to get a copy of. I mean, that's fucking broken. So let's hope we get that. That would be crazy good. Jeez. I got. Woohoo! Yippee! Now, as awesome as this was, I feel like it was actually to my detriment. I was trying to do 2 builds at once because I thought the tier 7 unit was so freaking awesome. But in hindsight, I probably got baited by it. And this meant that I only got a 3rd place victory. This also means that I'm less than 400 MMR away from reaching my goal of 6,000, which brings me to game 40 with George. George has one of the greatest hero powers, at least in my opinion, in this entire game, which allows him to give any one of his minions divine shield, which is obviously extremely powerful, but I found a crazy synergy by accident. This is actually still fun. So you need to leave, then we'll figure it from there. We're kind of going nuts. What? Oh, 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 oh my God, this shit, that was unintentional. Dude. Oh my God. There's no scam. Never getting through this. Ass. Okay, that was unintentional, but it ended up winning me the game, which is awesome. For game 41, we also have a hero that I think is relatively great, which is Omu. Because of Omu's hero power, which gives you extra gold when you tavern up, I was leveling up my tavern extremely aggressively. And because I reached tier 6 so much faster than everybody else, I ended up with one of the most disgusting elemental builds I've ever seen. You get a third golden ultraviolet if the game goes on for one more. Holy, bro, what a comp. Oh my God. Oh, sick. That might be the best build I've had. Here's a comparison of the build from game 31 to the one I did most recently. And honestly, you can see how much better I'm getting at this game. I'm identifying win conditions more clearly. I'm able to build bigger units. And most importantly, I am getting consistent first place victories over and over again. And at this rate, 6K should be absolutely no problem. This leads us to game 42, where I decided to go with the Lich King. And this is also maybe the first time I decided to pick a hero based on the tribes in the actual game. The hero power that the Lich King provides with undead and dragons made a lot of sense. And I decided to go for dragons, where I maybe went for the greediest line of all time. But luckily for me, the greediest line of all time paid off, which once again shows me that regardless of how good you are, if you just get lucky, you will probably get a good placement. Now, unfortunately, my build did not scale enough to actually beat the person that ended up getting first, but in hindsight, I can look at my build and understand why I lost, and maybe if I started to pivot towards scam earlier, I would have gotten first place. Go first. Actually, this is good for me. This is good for me. This is good for me. I'll copium. She didn't die. It's in GG. That's a tragedy. I mean, I have to deal with 2 minions there. I mean, it's fine. I'll take a second. Whatever, fucking. I'll take a nice second. No harm, no foul. Did you guys see how greedy I was? I was at 1 HP. All right, one more for the 6K. This could be the one, chat. This could be it. The one where I hit 6K. Everyone lock the fuck in. I think it's GG. I think it's GG. I think it's GG. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Ah! Holy, guy's so strong. I'm dead. Or are we? I am. No! I flew too close to the sun. Oh, no. Bro, I lost so many points for that, probably. It's a tragedy. That's my first 8th. 82. I don't want to talk about it. Losing the game that would have put me above 6K in 8th place was definitely a huge blow to my mental. And I was really hesitant to queue up again because obviously you don't want to play on tilt, but I was resilient and I decided to queue again. And for game 45, I ended up getting Varden. Now, from all the games that I have played, I actually think Varden might be the best hero in the game because I feel like you can get a comp going so consistently because of their hero power. The only issue with Varden is when you re-roll, the game stutters a little bit, and I literally can't make this up. For some reason, I decided to go APM Pirates, which is a build that I am not that familiar with, and you could clearly tell from this clip that I was kind of losing my mind. There's just no, like, there's no way. Okay, sure. Smile here. Merry Christmas. Bye. Sure. Bye. Okay, great. GG. Oh my God. There's just no way, man. There's just, okay. Beautiful. Hi, how are you? Sure. Like, might as well just do it. Whatever. Who cares? Sure. Whatever. Fine. It's good. Yeah. Awesome. There's just how are you supposed to spend this? How are you supposed to spend this? Like, there's just no way. Like, there's no conceivable way you're supposed to spend this. You can't. There's no way you're spending this. Like, you have to be a fucking god to do this. There's no way. There's no way Unk has the capabilities of spending this much gold. Like, this is too much gold. What am I even doing? Look, I can't. I have 40 gold. What am I supposed to be doing? Go roll. What the fuck? The game can't even handle it. The game's like, what are you doing? Roll! Oh my God, you're trolling. You're legitimately trolling. Whatever, it's fine. Dude, it's not me. 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 It's this play. I can't buy anything. Oh my God. Oh, I can't spend that money. How are you supposed to play this like a human being? You don't have the time to do this. You don't. Don't act like you would do better. You wouldn't. I hope it's like this wins me the game, I guess. Oh, that Leroy. He's actually so, wait. That was so, that ruined my, that was the worst 2 seconds of my life. Holy, I was like, that cleave's gonna save me, surely copium, right? Jesus Christ. That's 72. For game 46, I decided to go Xyrella, and the build ended up going in the direction of Quillbore. And I truly think the pressure is starting to get to me. I am slowly running out of time, and even though, yeah, I just need one more game, I'm just not thinking clearly at this point anymore. Now, fortunately for me, I didn't end up getting in a horrible position. I ended up in 4th, which I thought for sure I was gonna lose some MMR. +1! Let's go! Woohoo! This brings me to game 47, where I ended up picking the most fun hero I have played, which is Tess Greymane. Tess has the phenomenal hero power of spending 1 gold to refresh the tavern with the warband that you just went up against. And as you could probably imagine, if you're going for the exact same comp as somebody else, you get a lot stronger. You were good because I need you. Actually, you're so good. You're good, and you're good. And deep blue, oh my God. Oh, I'm rich. I'm actually just rich. Stealing all your shit. Stealing all your shit and I'm leaving. Oh my God. Holy moly. Okay, hold on. I can be really greedy if I want to. Is it weird if I sell this? No. I could have held that, but like I don't think it's actually worth it. Okay, hold on. 1, 2. I should have leveled there. That was better. Also Nagas. Okay, I don't mind leveling here because we're gonna be fine anyways next turn. Okay. Do that. We have no, I guess I could buy this. Do I care about this at all? It's my worst unit. Probably you. I don't care for that, right? Oh my God, that is so much stats. You. I could just buy this and I think I'm okay with a lot of stats, especially with this. Jesus. I want to get another Naga in. I do. I don't care for, like, the buddy's fine, but it's not like holy moly. I don't really care for it, I don't think. So let's get you out of the way too. I should have maybe held Cookie's buddy. Like that would have been a thought. But also, that's a lot of stats. This is about to go crazy. I gotta pay attention to what he has. That's a good unit to get. What is this? Back. Hey, it's the one that gives the spellcraft cards, right? I could get this. Is this even worth grabbing? I guess the Miradon's good, but other than that, like I don't really care. Holy shit, he's getting a lot though. He's playing Dispatch, dude. Everyone's playing Dispatch. Holy. Hey. You guys seen this Crossy Road gameplay, by the way? I want to do this. This isn't even that good for me. Want to find more deep blues, I think. I don't cap anymore. This is looking good, chatters. This is looking good. He blew me. Thing in the deep. Blew me. He blew me. Okay. That's actually nuts. Forever. I actually really want that. It's so greedy for me to hold for that though. Like it's actually so greedy. Oh, like there's no. I'll freeze that board. Thanks. Absolute cinema that I'm gonna win. Am I gonna get 6,000 on a first place victory with using Test Screaming for the first time in my life? And it's perfect because I now have the knowledge to utilize her at her fullest potential. Okay. Want you for sure. I don't really care for this anymore. Some stats. I think you're better. Guess I'll grab you. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. What's my worst minion? It's probably the deep blue at this point. That makes me a little sad. Loved you. Like a son. I actually goofed there. Okay, so what can I sell now? So they have, because they're Nagas as well. Oh my god, 325? Are you even close to this? But he's not even the same league, man. Think of the fucking Shadow Realm. Oh my god. Oh my god. This could be it. Oh, it's probably it for sure. Okay, what's my worst unit? Probably you. That breaks my heart a little bit, but. Oh, I was supposed to play the deep blues first. I'm an ape. Fine. I guess I'll keep a deep blue in case I lose. I just realized that thing means you got your buddies. I just realized what that symbol meant. Wait, he's kind of big. There's no way he's big enough, right? This should be it. This should be it. I'm gonna have to watch 2 million animations. I was so confident. How am I getting cooked here? Oh, it's because so this is giving him what? Yeah. It's because his mechs are like so strong that like I never have enough to beat. Right. All right. It comes down to this. Do I hit 6,000. I thought for real that this would be enough. But apparently I'm gonna, wait, hold on, things are looking, hit Titus, hit Titus, hit Titus. You idiot, like, do I lose this because I hit Titus? Or I don't hit Titus? That 50-50 might have been the difference. Okay. That 50-50 might have mattered. Because you got double the units because of it. Okay, give me enough. Just give me enough. I don't care. Please. Oh. Oh. 6,000. 6K. It took 22 hours, 33 minutes. On top of that, it took 47 games to get there. Feels good, man. Feels good. You know, I didn't expect to make it this far, chat. I'm gonna be honest. I thought I would probably get hard stuck around 4K. I did it. I reached 6K in less than 24 hours, and that may not seem like a huge accomplishment for some of you, but as someone who has barely any experience in this, I actually felt really good about that. But overall, I feel like this experiment and this overall journey was really fun. I am really glad I actually took the time to play this game. And if you enjoyed this journey, I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe, because this was a lot of work for this video. I decided to do one more game on stream and then finish the remaining time off stream because I was going for a very long time today. I may have not done this in 24 hours, but it didn't take me that much longer. I ended up getting 6,376 MMR, which means I am officially higher than Dreads, and he can suck it.